Hello and welcome to a Retro One show with Matt Baker.
And Alex Jones. We are live for the next half an hour, and tonight we are joined by the biggest band to come out of the Birmingham new romantic scene.
So let's go straight to our Pebble Mill studios where Toya Wilcox is standing by to introduce them.
Yes, it's time to turn off your tellies and strangle your cats. It's us again with another fun-filled 30 minutes.
Enough said. There'll be more details of our fashion competition, reggae from Eclipse, and we continue our search for the Space Invader champion. But first, here on planet Earth, it's Duran Duran.
And we are here in Simon Le Bon and John Taylor. Welcome to the One Show. Nice little introduction for you.
Yeah, you had quite a shock there. I mean, that was Look Here, a programme that was done back in the 80s.
No, was it?
It was.
Much more recent than that.
Do you actually remember it, or what do you remember of it?
I don't remember anything.
I was going to say. See a rock band.
I mean, I know we were there.
Yeah.
We just saw it.
Yeah. Evidence.
Yeah.
To prove that you were there.
Yeah.
OK, well, let's hope you remember this, because we've had big Bond music news today, haven't we? We've heard about, obviously, Sam Smith saying that he's going to be doing the new Bond track for Spectre. Shrouded in mystery, hasn't been able to say anything since January. So was there kind of similar secrecy around this track when you heard you were going to be doing it?
You know, I don't think that the announcement of the artist who was doing the theme tune for the Bond film was such a big deal then.
Right.
What was a big deal was when we put the record out and it was the hit that it was.
Was it a big deal for you when you heard you were going to be doing
Massive.
it? It was it?
Yeah, I mean, it was great. We were working with John Barry, who sort of like invented the whole Bond sound of the music. Yeah, and it was just, it's an event song. I mean, when you get to do that, I mean, that's why, it's great.
Yeah.
It's just a great thing to do, and it's British, it's a great British brand. Get to hang out with those leading ladies. If you're lucky.
It's all about the leading ladies.
Yeah.
Well, Simon, before long, they would be looking not only just for a new song, but also for a new Bond. Do you remember this?
Excuse me, aren't you?
Bond, Simon Le Bon.
Still got it.
Yeah.
Definitely.
Well, we'll hear Duran Duran's new single later, and we'll have more from Toyah too, when Michael Douglas takes her and her hair back in time. Lots of backcombing, basically.
Okay.
Wow, there has been adulation like that.
It would be. Yeah. And as you said, from the sound of music, this was a good link by Matt, to the sound of your music. So that is brilliant. We were listening to your brand new 14th album today. How would you describe your new sound?
Oh, it's our least favourite question. Please describe your music.
Play the game, Simon.
You spend 2 years making a record and somebody asks you to describe it.
Well, it's quite dark, isn't it?
It's darker. Actually, I mean, you've always had elements of darkness.
Okay. Can I just say, I read something a couple of weeks ago in the Sunday Times Culture, and it was described thus: ruthlessly catchy melodies, sinuous harmonies, pop-bright melodies edged with darkness.
There you go. Wow.
You see.
So,
I like that.
If you can't describe it, the Times can. Listen, I'm sure everybody out there would agree. Let's have a listen to Pressure On from Paper Gods.
Having said that, it's quite that one is quite kind of. Is this going to offend you? 80s pop? I like it. That's quite
80s
upbeat.
pop.
Well,
we love 80s pop.
Poppy, exactly.
No, we love it. I mean,
we were looking for a song like that, weren't we?
Yeah. Something that would just instantly lift people's spirits. That's what we want.
And it's you as well.
Yeah.
And this is the interesting thing, because really, you've never stopped writing, have you? You never seem sort of settled with, oh yeah, there's the greatest hits, we're just going to leave it at that. It just continually seems to progress for you guys.
Yeah, I think over the years people have realised, or our fans have realised, that that they're going to get a different record when you get a new Duran Duran album, and that's become really a big thing for us. We grew up listening to artists like David Bowie, who never made the same album twice, and that was our template really, and the joy that you get when you go on the road and you stand on stage and you're playing something that's new, that gives you currency, which means you're not a greatest hits band and you're not a nostalgia act. It's priceless.
And a lot of these songs are kind of developing from new experiences. We were just having a chat earlier on about your kind of new experience with going on tour and festivals.
Yeah.
Right. Well, yes, the 80s was not a festival era at all, you know, and we had a lot of good times in places like Wembley Arena. And I mean, I left the band for a few years. When I came back, we did a reunion of the original band members. This is about 10 years ago. And everything had changed. And it was all about festivals, suddenly, it seemed like. And so we've kind of had to get into that game and sort of learn how to, because it's a very different approach. It's like when you play a theatre or an arena, you own the room. Right. You know, everybody's going there to see you. But, you know, festivals are much more, it's like a buffet, you know, and it's... as opposed to like a candlelit dinner for two, which is what an arena is like when you're just going to see one artist. Yeah. You know, and you've got to share this stage and this day with all these other musicians, and you just have to give it a different kind of kind of presentation.
And John Taylor, you are the prawn cocktail.
Thank you. Thank you.
Yes.
Very good. Well, your buffet this weekend is the Bestival Festival. Yeah. You are doing some of your older stuff, and we're going to do a bit of a one-show jukebox. We've got lots of fans of yours in the audience tonight. And you can get to choose which one you'd like to hear, which track. We've got Wild Boys, we've got Rio, A View to a Kill, and then we've got The Reflex. So, which one do you reckon, boys? Which one do you want for your fans? Or should we let them choose?
Wild Boys. They chose.
Wild Boys.
What, Wild Boys? Where's Joanne? We've got Joanne in the audience.
Hello.
Hey. What do you want?
Finally.
Wild Boys as well?
What do you think? The Reflex.
The Reflex.
The Reflex is the only one that we do.
I think we should go with Joanne. Let's go with Reflex.
What we're going to put on Reflex? We're going to go for the Reflex. Put the Reflex on. You're watching that very intensely.
It's a good dance that, isn't it?
Like that?
No, we were talking the other day, actually, in the Japanese album, the first edition of the Japanese album, the dance steps were in there, were reprinted. How to do the new romantic dance, you know, because it had that kind of
the two-step, the 80s two-step.
Yeah.
Well, listen, Paper Gods is out on Friday. That's the new album. And the arena tour starts in Manchester in November before heading off all around the UK. So everybody can be doing that.
The two-step. 80s two-step. There you are. You'll be doing that on the way back in the car.
Without any doubt. I'll do it every day.
Now, thank you for a trip down memory lane.
You two were glued to that. You literally watched it all like this, and it's a shame.
Bjork, actually,
Well, this is it, because Toya was too busy to join us tonight, unfortunately. But when we told her that you two were on, well, she changed her plans. So here she is. Please welcome Toya Wilcox.
Toya! Toya! Thanks for getting there. Go on, have a seat.
I'm so nervous. I have not seen you guys since 1982.
Really?
Well, that year we were nominated. You were Best Band, I was Best Female Singer, and we used to get together on those awards ceremonies, and we were so naughty. We used to run amok.
Sure, we did. Can't do that today, can you?
No, we're going to be really good today. But that clip you showed from Look Here earlier in the program, it was your first TV appearance, wasn't it?
Yeah.
Because I can remember the boys came into the studio and we were all going, oh, they're gorgeous. They're so gorgeous. And they're so sweet. And you did Planet Earth, and wow, you never looked back, did you?
No.
And were you impressed back then, or did you think, oh, here's another band, have another go?
Oh, no, we could just tell. But what we didn't realise was you were going to change the face of music and the face of live music, which you did, because you created the arena show.
Right.
Because back then, most people played the big theatres, and you took music to the arenas.
We did. And we put video screens up. We took a huge bank of video screens with us on tour, and nobody had ever seen that before.
And you were very famous, of course, as well, for your fashion and your clothes. That was the thing with them, wasn't it? So we thought we'd have a little look back. We've seen Toya, so we thought we'd have a look back at you two as well. Well, all the bands. This is the first one we've got.
Yeah, we're going to start with the classic zips and leather.
We like that.
It's just the classic zips and leather.
I like the yellow jacket. That's quite nice.
Yellow jacket. I'd like that now. Have you still got it?
It was a girlfriend jacket, that was.
Yeah.
That was very good. There you are.
Yeah, but
and
again...
then the next one
Next.
is a little bit less... Well,
oh, yes.
Now, do you remember, because there was a person just underneath, out of frame at the bottom there.
Yes.
Do you remember who it was?
It was a shoot for Louis magazine, actually.
Yeah.
It was hard work, that was.
I think was it a lady in a corset on her hands and knees?
Well, I think you're right.
It's a lady with the one show across.
She's a big fan of the one show. She's a big fan of the one show. But still in the stripes, though. You can see, obviously, still going for that sort of striped look.
I was going to say a leopard doesn't change its spots, but that's not quite appropriate, is it?
A sailor doesn't change his stripes.
I totally approve of men wearing makeup, which these boys did. And
well, actually, on that theme, what about men in dresses? Because we've got one, as I think of you here, Simon, wearing something...
That's right. That's called the Zip and Go. and Cindy Crawford, who was in the scene there, she was doing this thing for MTV, Fashion Rocks or something, and Nick and I got dressed up in the Zip and Go dresses for her.
Wow,
very nice.
This is the thing, because it was all about kind of risk and reward in the 80s. Well, it was about people just having a go, trying something new, and hopefully it kind of worked.
Absolutely. We've been talking about this a lot this week, because, you know, we've had a lot of interviews and things, but there's a massive difference in the way people approach music now. And so many people are trying to head for the middle at the moment. When we came up, the one thing you had to do was have something different from everybody else. And I'd be singing something in the rehearsal room, and Nick or John would say, "Too much like David Bowie, change it." You know,
really?
and I'd have to change because you know, to find that thing that was.
But these guys
original.
are the best songwriters around, and you've been so good at that. Your songwriting has always excelled everyone else.
And do you know what? We've run out of time, so we have to say thank you to John, to Simon, and to Toya. The album Jukebox is out now.
Yes, and tomorrow we'll be back here with Michael Palin. Have a great evening. Bye.
Thank you so much indeed.